I was born ready. I'm ready now. I'll be ready till my dying day. Let's do it.
We ran it on QI a few years ago.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a fish.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a fish.
No, seriously, it's in the Oxford Dictionary of Underwater Life. It says it right there, first paragraph, no such thing as a fish.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, no such thing as a fish!
My expectations of the podcast were low because we'd never tried it before, and I thought we'll give it a go, we'll do a few weeks of it and see if anyone listens, and then maybe we'll do a few more weeks of it later on. I didn't really appreciate that once you do a podcast, if it becomes successful, you then have to make one every week until you die. And we're very glad to be making them every week until we die. We're extremely excited about that.
I want to tell you about a few things that I think we need to look out for in 2018. I've prepared them on the wall of things we need to worry about. They are as follows: carp herpes, moon potatoes, Nutellageddon, Whack-Apocalypse Now, and all the robots.
I've got two, and they are leeches and parachuting animals. Now they're niche, but they are very interesting. It's not the most usual area, but actually this is the nice thing about QI and fish, is that when you start researching something, you just fall down the rabbit hole and you find out that the Italian army in 1930s Abyssinia parachuted oxen and sheep to feed their soldiers, and then you find out that the US Army parachutes dogs in to the Bora Bora cave complex in Afghanistan. So it all links up after a while, you know, as soon as you start, you follow the thread. So Australia is doing these sausage airdrops across its countryside. It's parachuting sausages down in two different ways to deal with two different problems. So one lot is dealing with feral cats.
Yeah, getting rid of them by dropping sausages.
They're poison sausages, but then the other ones are to deal with, is it toads?
Yeah.
It's to deal with toads, and they are laced with toady poison, or nasty toad flavour, so the animals that would eat toads and then die, eat the sausages, feel sick, and then say, I'm not going to go near something that tastes like that in future.
Yeah.
So everyone's a winner in that scenario, because
Yeah.
the toads survive now, the animals don't get poisoned by the toads.
Yeah.
It's
And we get to know that sausages are falling from the sky.
Yeah.
During the G series, I tried to find something interesting about grapes and completely failed. And I found them incredibly boring to this day. And you're not allowed to say that anything's boring at QI, but grapes are boring. They're very boring.
Earlier this year, NASA actually announced what they would do in the event, the real event of a killer asteroid heading our way. And NASA said that they would not actually have time to really do anything about it, but what they could do is send up a probe to take a photo of us being destroyed.
That's like a final selfie.
Yes.
Basically. Wow.
I was a sickening student at school. I was very assiduous, I always did my homework. When I was very young, I wanted to write books. I was a voracious reader as a child. So I wanted to write Roald Dahl's books. It seemed to me the pinnacle of human achievement.
What can we look forward to next year? Let's have a look and find out. It's not good news, guys. It's very bad news. The world is going to end, I'm afraid. Some enthusiasm, which is understandable at this stage. So, the world is going to end. Now, this is not just my theory. A lot of people think this. I'd like you to take a look at these newspaper headlines. I'll read some of them out. So, end of the world, Nibiru. That Nibiru is coming. Think down to Nibiru. Humanity is destroying itself. Sign of apocalypse. Now, I grant you, these headlines are all from the Daily Express website. Not only that, they're all from the Daily Express in the last 6 weeks. Look at this one. Will world end tomorrow? That was last weekend. Didn't. Also, the magnificent capitalisation on these things, random capitalisation. Look at this. Nibiru is coming and causing Earth to wobble! But the really interesting thing about these articles is that they're all not only from the same website, same last 6 weeks, they're all by the same journalist. There's a journalist at the Express called Sean Martin who writes basically about two things. He writes about the snooker and we're all going to die. That's it. So I became obsessed with Sean Martin. I tried to find out more about him, and he's got a profile on a website called Journalisted, which lists all UK journalists and everything they've been writing recently. So I looked him up, and he's a tricky man to find out anything, because here's his profile. It's pretty sketchy. And you may not be able to see his photo at the back, so don't worry, I've had it enhanced.
Worst habits professionally or worst habits interpersonally?
I like to swear, and I like to say slightly shocking things, like wank. He hates the word wank.
That's true. I do hate it when Dan swears. And I hate it when he says the word wank. I'm not comfortable saying it now.
Sorry, we're going to need a retake on the word wank.
Oh great, we'll need a retake of the word wank. Wank, 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 wank. Actually, this wristwatch that I'm wearing now was made by a guy called Robert, and he goes by the name @Weaselspoon on Twitter, and he made a No Such Thing as a Fish wristwatch, and it's a Casio F91W, which is a very good wristwatch for reasons I won't bore you with now. One of the heroes of No Such Thing as a Fish is a guy called Clive, who has come up with a graph of the time to penis, or as he calls it, TTP, which is a spreadsheet of the first time the word penis is mentioned in any given episode of No Such Thing as a Fish, who says it, and how long into the episode they say it. It combines listening to the podcast with the accumulation of data that is not necessarily useful in and of itself, and I think that is something that we can all agree is worth doing. Used to get very nervous, and if there's a special occasion for a live show, if we were performing for the Queen, then I probably would be nervous. But the odds of that happening are slim.
Just doing my hair for the show.
We've never had any stage dives, we've never had a streaker, we've never had a live animal invade the space. I think there's room on this tour for a lot more excitement, and I would ask the audiences to act accordingly.
My family came because we played a gig in Wimbledon, and they came along, and they were in one of the boxes on either side of the stage. But I thought they were in the other box because I assumed they were in the stage left box, and so for the whole of the first half of the show, I was kept on going. All right,
You're looking at my
sister-in-law.
I'm looking at your
sister-in-law, making it because I thought it was
my god! No wonder David, the husband, is furious.
I thought it was my girlfriend in the box.
Man.
So I kept on making.
That's so unprofessional, though. You're not supposed to be winking and waving at your girlfriend during a show.
Says who?
Says who? Yeah.
Says the
profession.
unwritten rules of the theatre.
Yeah.
The best thing about touring is getting to spend time with the other three in silence, frantically researching a show 20 minutes before we go on stage. That's my favourite bit.
Heaven. It's heaven. I love it.
I'd go more purgatory. No, it's good. It is fun, isn't it?
It is a lot of waiting around, which
There's
is
a lot
like
of waiting around, but what I like about it is meeting all the people, because after the show we tend to meet a load of people, and when we put the podcast on the internet, we don't know that anyone's actually listening to it.
Yeah.
When we actually meet people and they say, I listen in the bath every week, or I listen walking the dog, or in the shops, or whatever, that's really awesome.
Yeah, you always hear directors or actors in sitcoms who've never had the experience of being in a large room with a group of people watching their thing. So sometimes when they preview episodes of sitcoms, the filmmakers for the first time, or the TV program makers, are seeing the laughter and they're like, wow, it actually works properly. And that's what it's like for us on tour. It sort of feels like, oh yeah, they do find the weird things and the interesting things we say both funny, and they're engaged, and they tell us afterwards as well. They tell us.
Dan needs a haircut.
There was a lot more joking about anal bleaching than I expected.
James has got a really dirty mind.
It was nice to finally sort of put some characters to the people that we've been listening to.
I've been a fan since I saw No Such Thing as the News, and then I was like, I think I'm obsessed here. And from there, I discovered podcasts, and now I have a book. I'm aiming for a mug soon.
And I like the way they come up with totally arbitrary facts and things that are entertaining to each other, and then they come up with something that they weren't really talking about in the first place. Facts about themselves and their lives, which I think is fun.
James, he seems like the most sensible one. Andy, I love the improvising on stage. I think Dan is possibly the most childish one, and Anna, just get Anna on Twitter.
So, Elisa, I gather that you have a fact about Coventry because we are here in Coventry on the No Such Thing as a Fish tour.
I do, yeah. My fact is that Coventry is the 4th largest place called Coventry. They are in the states of New York and Rhode Island. The 3rd largest place is actually an asteroid that is over 54 million kilometres away from here.
Presumably all the other Coventries are spin-offs from this Coventry.
Yeah, this is the original.
Okay, original and best, let's say.
I haven't been to the other one, so I couldn't tell you.
Do you mind if I ask how you found this fact out in the first place?
I just started off by doing a bit of Googling and just let myself fall down a bit of an internet rabbit hole, and that's where I discovered there was an asteroid called Coventry.
Yeah.
And then I wondered what other places there were and how big they were compared to this one.
Nice.
So,
How do you compare an asteroid to Coventry, which is famously not an asteroid?
Yeah, found the area of this Coventry that's just
Yeah.
easily available, and then I also found the diameter of the asteroid and then just worked out the area from that. And then compared the two, and I was quite pleased when I found that the asteroid was actually bigger.
That is superb. That is, I think, the winner of the James Harkin Award for original research and unusual comparisons.
Good, glad to hear it.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is the first time we'll go to Ireland next year.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a lot of cities we've never done before. We're going to go to Newcastle. We've never done that before.
Yeah.
It's also the first time we would have shared a van, a tour bus.
Like a Scooby-Doo van, yeah.
Is that what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a massive S Club 7 tour bus.
We can pimp up a quarter each, so you can have S Club 7 on your quarter. I'll have a post-chaise from the 17th century as my quarter, I think.
What's a post-chaise?
Never you mind.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm going to sleep all day until American football starts.
I'm having a lunch party tomorrow that I have to cook for.
What are you cooking?
What a terrible sausage casserole.
I gotta be up at 4, I have to do a feed, and then I have to change a nappy at 5:30, and then I'm gonna do learn and play, in which we get my son to try and focus.
Can you give us some of these learn and play books so we can teach you to focus? Do you know how many bacteria go into your mouth from the wine?
If I was to kiss you, Dan, for 10 seconds, you would get 80 million bacteria from my mouth.
Are we talking tongues or?
No, bacteria.
This feels a lot like the start of a found footage horror film.
It does,
like, that's
yeah.
the aesthetic I'm getting through the camera.
Oh my god.
Who's the hot one who's gonna die first?
Thank you very much. So many highlights. Dunstable, massive highlight.
Dunstable was the best, actually.
It was the
Dunstable
best
was
show.
amazing.
One of the best shows we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
We've ever Dunstable.
Everyone had a good time.
Yeah.
I think we should change the word done to the word
Good.
Dunstable.
Goodstable.
Forever.
Oh, what do you mean?
So when you say I'm done,
Oh yeah, I'm Dunstable.
Romeo done,
Yeah.
we should just start saying Romeo Dunstable
Yeah.
instead of done. No, okay.
Well, no, it's a good thought. Anyway, that was a
Because
highlight.
Dan always says Romeo done,
Yeah.
which is referring to the So Solid Crew song 21 Seconds.
Actually, I coined it, and then they were big fans of my term
Anna
and used it.
didn't realise that, I think, or Andy didn't. One of you
No,
didn't realise
neither of us
it. I thought
did.
it was a Shakespearean quote.
Yeah. I thought it was about Shakespeare. Andy had never even remembered Dan saying it, even though Dan says it 20 times a day.
I say it about 20 times a day, and then 2 days ago, Andy says, I've never heard you say that before.
I've never listened to you saying
I literally end my sentences with Romeo done. Romeo done.
In 5 years' time, I think we won't be on speaking terms. I think we'll have had a serious breakdown in relations by then, if I'm honest. I'd give it 2.